a lot um, meaningful, and at the same time, it's spiritually, it well, as much as we want it to be more. We want to put in the spiritual side of what the show can offer. So today we'll be talking about finding meaning and purpose in your career. So this is your spiritual perspective. Yeah. So Jamie, yeah. So we're about to have our Holy Week. I'm sure you are also preparing for your Holy Week with your loved ones. Do you guys have any plans for the week?
There's none actually, Sir Floyd. Every year we celebrate it at home. We're just
Okay.
we're together, um, spend some time with them. Yun lang. We don't go to to a vacation or out of
Okay.
town. Yeah, very intimate intimate celebration lang with the
So,
fam.
kumbaga, it's more of like spend more time with your family. So it's a simple celebration, or at the same time it's kumbaga, it's you find more peace together, no. So no need to
Correct.
go out, no need
Yes.
to go to the beach. So sometimes, no,
Mm-hmm.
there are other families. They also do visit iglesia, no. So our end, we
Yes.
different churches. So I'm a Catholic, by the way, for those who are not aware. So yeah, for our end, no. So it's part of our tradition as a family to do visit iglesia. We go to different churches, visit, and at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
give thanks, no, to the Lord for giving us another fruitful year of being together
Right.
as a family, and then at the same time, leading our family towards closer to Him, no, so to
Mm-hmm.
God. So that's wait, it's for us, it's something that we really look forward. There are a lot of Filipino families. Normal yan eh, no? When every time it's a Holy Week, they really go
Mm-hmm.
to their provinces, or sometimes they go to the beach, or they go to a resort, and spend the time together. So it's like, kumbaga, it's like Christmas season, pero this one's more of like on the spiritual side of it, because we're also celebrating
Mm-hmm.
us as Christians, celebrating the purpose of why Jesus came into the world, and at the same time brought life to us, gave us a purpose, no, as human beings. So yeah, so Jamie, yeah. So other than the preparation for the Holy Week, yeah, how's your spiritual life so far?
For my spiritual life, Sir Floyd. Well, um, I don't really go to church often. Like I think when the pandemic started, I didn't go na. Parang hindi na ako pumupunta sa church. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I feel really disconnected, especially right now. I'm working from home. Parang I really don't have the time to go to the church. And but when the time's rough, and sometimes if you feel really overwhelmed with joy, automatic nagiging thankful ako kay Lord. Like, it's like an automatic response dun sa either it's a joyful event or a very drastic event. So I'm not saying I'm very spiritual, but I'm aware of
Mm-hmm.
of
Mm-hmm.
of my spiritual being, and I know how important it is for someone to have that kind of awareness. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's one thing naman when it comes to spiritual life natin, no. So,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't mean that, for example, you don't go to church, no. Doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean that you're like well, of course, depends on your perspective, no. But for me personally, as long as you recognize Him, and of course you practice being a better person, not for the sake of having that idea that God will save you if you get to help other people, but
Right, right.
generally just we just want to be a better person, because you want
Mm-hmm.
to show that you're worthy of the life given to you. No, it's one
Mm-hmm.
thing that is more important, no, rather
Right,
than
right.
having that. For example, you go to church, you do all the traditional stuff, no, you go to, di ba,
Mm-hmm.
may mga ano pa yun, there's like yung mga parade pa, no, so sometimes there are people get to stick with, with the tradition, and then at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day they get to do all the traditional activities, pero they tend to not, kumbaga, not practice the reminders that are being told to us by, for example, by the priest, or if you're a Christian, of course, uh
Pastor.
by the pastor, no. So I mean, being being or having that the spiritual side of yours should be more of like you trying to be a better
Mm-hmm.
person. Not, you're not doing it because you want to have the idea that you'll go to heaven, but no, you're doing it because you want to show to the Lord that you're worthy of the life given to you. Diba? So that's one thing for me. It's again, it's my
Mm-hmm.
perspective. So kumbaga, for me,
Mm-hmm.
it's parang baliwala if you get to practice all of the traditional things. Pero kung, di
Right.
ba, you at the end of the day gagawa ka rin naman ng masama. No? So you
Yeah.
try to be a better person on a day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm. And I think, Sir Floyd, if you have like spiritual awareness, you're most likely to have a sense of inner peace, clarity, and purpose. Ito yung, that's why we are having this kind of talk. So if you have like this spiritual clarity or awareness, you'll find the meaning and purpose, especially in your career. So what do you think, Sir Floyd? Like, why is it important for you to find meaning and purpose, especially in your career?
Well, why is it important for you to find meaning and having that spiritual purpose? It's because it gives you peace, eh, no? So, I
Right,
mean,
right.
regardless of, let's say you're in the career ladder, you're on track of being promoted from on a higher position. Pero if you get to still, if you just do it for the money, it's,
Mm-hmm.
or for the title, you, at the end of the day, you still feel that there's something missing with it. So
Mm-hmm.
kumbaga, as a human being, you get to have that sense of purpose, because
Mm-hmm.
you're working, you're having a good career, you're doing it for your family, and then
Mm-hmm.
on the spiritual side, you're telling to yourself that you get to have a peaceful, kumbaga, much peaceful life, because you have guidance from God, because you're able to say that
Mm-hmm.
wala ka namang ginawang masama at the end of the day, or maybe sometimes you get to do some bad stuff, pero you get to recognize all of those things. That's a
Right,
lot more
right.
than just showing to other people na, yun nga, you're doing all the traditional things, you go to the church
Mm-hmm.
on every Sunday, pero still you're not recognizing that you're imperfect. Because that's what
Mm-hmm.
makes us human being, no? We're built to be imperfect, because what makes our life perfect is because we have his presence. We have the Lord's presence.
Exactly. Right. And you know what, Sir Floyd? I think maraming makaka-relate dito, especially our millennials and Gen Z's audience, no. Yung midlife, quarter midlife crisis.
Mm-hmm.
I personally experienced that, and some of us may experience a sense of, uncertainty and questioning about their purpose in life. And I believe having like spiritual awareness can help provide guidance and support during this time of transition, and offer insights into values, beliefs, and purpose. Some of us, especially during pandemic, I think super lost na
Mm-hmm.
to the point na they really don't have the idea how to start, since they don't know the purpose Sinula dito sa life. Wow, merong background music. I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really really hard for those people who are experiencing a midlife or quarter life crisis. But I believe, by embracing a spiritual growth during this time, and we can find a greater sense of fulfillment and purpose in our life. So this is a very very great topic to discuss as we enter the Lenten season.
Yeah. When we say about quarter life crisis, tama kayo, no? So, especially for the young generation, the Gen Zs. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, we have to understand that quarter life crisis is it happens to, well, it happens
Right.
to a lot of people, no? And sometimes you get to question yourself, am I in the right direction? Am I doing the right
Mm-hmm.
thing?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you also tend to compare your
Yes.
achievements
Oh my gosh.
to other people's
That's true.
achievements. Diba?
That's
So
true.
sometimes you get to say, hey, how come someone who I get who I know is
Mm-hmm.
it's like he or she is more successful than I am today. So and then you get to question yourself, am I worthy of or am I doing the right thing? Am I
Mm-hmm.
or I'm doing all of the things that I'm supposed to do, but still, well, how come I'm lacking of that career success that I need, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe that financial success, that career, that recognition that I need? No, how come I'm not getting
Mm-hmm.
those things? So,
Mm-hmm.
a good spiritual perspective is that um, you have to understand that there's really a right time for it. It will not really happen right away. The success that you want will
Right.
not happen right away. And sometimes we get to pressure ourselves to become a better
Mm-hmm.
version of ourselves. When
Right. Right.
you have to think that you have to also take things slowly, take it easy on
Mm-hmm.
yourself. Don't put too much pressure on yourself as well.
Mm, correct.
So
Yes.
having that spiritual perspective
Mm-hmm.
gives you more meaning of wherever uh, career life you have right now, regardless if you're not doing well or doing good, no. If you have a good recognition that you have God beside you, you have the Lord beside you, you will feel that everything will be okay, no?
Yeah.
Yes, hindi ko pa nga nakukuha yung recognition that I want, the promotion that I want. But something is maybe the Lord is molding something for you, no? And sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it takes some time for before ibigay niya sa iyo,
Exactly.
di ba? So
Right.
that's one thing, no, that all of us should also recognize.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Sir Floyd, because I've been there. Like I was looking for so many opportunities para makita lang yung purpose ko. And I've tried so many jobs. I went to being an assistant, being a business development officer, naging events. Kasi I am trying to look for my purpose kung saan ako sasaya. And I think it's really important to find that meaning and purpose in your career specifically, because it can have a significant impact on
Yeah,
your overall well-being and happiness. And I think when you find a purpose in your work, you're most likely to feel motivated, and overall it can improve kasi your job satisfaction and your mental health, especially mental health, and your overall quality of life.
yeah.
So, 'di ba?
So I have a
Mm,
sorry, Jimmy, I have a question for you. So um for you, which of the two has a kumbaga more weight, no? Um, do you think it is better to be successful than being significant to other people, or for you, you want to be significant over being successful? It's
um
significance over success.
significance over success.
Yeah.
Tama ba? Ayun yung
Yeah,
pagpipilian ko,
significance over
sir, no?
success.
Well, iba-iba kasi tayo ng definition ng success. If I became parang significant to other people na I think and I believe na I can give an impact to them in a positive way, I think it's already successful. Kasi what I believe na purpose ko in life is to help other people. It may not be a financial financial wise, but the fact that you are helping them to improve their life or motivating them to move forward and they find it very significant, I think that's already success for me because that's the purpose na parang pinofocus ko sa sarili ko na I need to help other people. So I think uh I really can't, what do you call this, choose between the two. Kasi para siyang magiging domino effect. If you feel significant, me personally, if I feel na significant ako sa ibang tao, then I feel successful because yeah, that's the purpose na gusto kong gawin for
Yeah.
my life. So
Well, the reason why I asked is because actually I'll be later. I'll have I have something to share to all of our
mhm.
communities watching us right now. By the way, hello to all of our communities watching us right now. So for those who are not yet aware, so today's episode is something that is we want it to be more on the spiritual side of things. No? So that's
Right.
why ito yung topic of discussion natin. So so sometimes kasi we tend to work so hard, we tend to tell ourselves to grind more, pero we
Mhm.
get to forget that you get to forget what's the purpose of why you're doing it. Yes, of course, you'll get to have a lot of money, for example, you get to be promoted, and then at the end of the day, once you get to achieve it, what's next? No, so
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, it it's an endless achievement, endless achievement for you to reach. If that will be the
Mhm.
way of your perspective, no. So what we're saying is that it's also okay that we get to have a spiritual purpose.
Mhm.
Why we're working? Why we're doing this? Why sometimes when we feel so stressed from work, why is it important for you to somehow meditate, pray, take a pause, and then share all of your worries to God, no? So why is it
Mhm.
important for you to do that? For me personally, it refreshes your it can refresh your mind. And at the same time, it can help you to find more peace, no, to
Mhm.
yourself. That sometimes you don't need to compare whatever others are doing. If they're doing good, sometimes you don't need to compare those things, and do not put so much pressure in yourself, because sometimes it's you don't need to do it, because you know that you're doing okay, because you have God beside you telling you
Right.
that, hey, okay lang, take it easy, don't put too much pressure on yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think Surflight, it allows us to step back then from our busy lives and gain perspective, which can help us, which can help us to make better decisions and reduce stress. Because
Mm-hmm.
I know that you have this kind of goal, but if you parang pressure yourself to do it, parang hirap, parang it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
And it will lead you to physical and mental stress, and that's not good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, sige, Jamie, I have something to I have prepared something to all of our communities, and of course our viewers in our social media
Yes.
channel, in
Mm-hmm.
our Facebook. So all of our those who are following us can have hopefully, you can have a more spiritual purpose why you're doing the things that you're doing right now, and why sometimes you have to take a break from putting too much pressure in yourself, no. So I have something to share to all of you. So kasi nga for those who don't know, no, so Actually, it was also in Kumu when I first shared my story. No, so um, wait, let me just prepare my slide so that makita nyo rin. Okay. So, it was also in Kumu when I first shared my story. No, so yeah. Wait, there you go. Okay. So yeah, yeah. So for those who don't know, um, I used to have a um an illness before, no. So which I found it during the time that I least expect that it should happen, no. So let's go back lang in time, no. So it was December 5, yeah. So as mentioned here in the slide, so it was December 5, 2020. So I tested positive of COVID, no. So during this time kasi, Jamie, and those who are watching us right now, there's no any booster, anything discovered yet to somehow control the spread of COVID, no. So kumbaga this was more of like infancy stage pa of COVID, no. So when I got it, I actually did not expect that it will happen to me, or I will have this I'll get to have COVID-19, no. So I shared my story over Facebook. So I got all of the symptoms, no. So I got fever, dry cough, lahat yan, no. So all of the muscle pains, the body ache, sore throat, all of those things I got it, no. And then um I went to I at first I was really not telling my wife that I'm trying to not tell my wife that parang yung symptoms that I got is COVID like na. So I was honestly I was really on kumbaga I did not admit yet that COVID na yon. But then I started to cough heavily that I had to go to the hospital, and they get to diagnose me, and then yeah, they found out that I have pneumonia. So yung pneumonia kasi for me, it's something that is alarming because 3 years ago or 4 years ago, as what you see here, so I used to also have tuberculosis, no, to TB, no. So since it's lungs related, it's alarming because lungs na naman yung tinamaan. So now when I got COVID, to be honest, my concern was not for myself. My concern was for my family. No, because um, the first thing na naisip ko is that because we're in one room, no. So my family, no. So here's a picture of my family. So natakot ako because baka somehow they'll get to also have COVID. So during this time, my children, no, was, well, 2020. So 3 years old pa lang yung eldest ko. So my baby, the youngest, she's just few months pa lang during this well, yeah, magwa 1 year old pa lang during this time. So I get to have this worry na baka mahawaan ko sila nung malaman ko na nga na COVID positive ako. So so the first thing we did is that we had to when we found out that I'm positive, so I told my wife to go to our other house, to my mother-in-law, and then humiwalay muna ako. So the idea was hindi muna ako magpapa-hospital, no. So I mean ER pa lang kasi nito during this time. So the idea was hindi muna magpapa-hospital, but mag-home treatment na lang. But then since COVID during this time was more of like on an infancy stage when it comes to treatments, no. So my wife was too alarmed that she told me and insisted that Flo, you need to go to the hospital. You need to be hospitalized. I agreed. Pero my worry again if was not for myself. I'm okay that I'm COVID positive. So sabi ko nga okay lang na ako. Wag lang yung family ko, no? And then I've been thinking about them on how sana been praying as well that sana they will not get COVID, no? They will not kumbaga hindi sila mahahawa from me, no? So after a few days, so my wife told me they're negative naman of COVID-19. So for me it's a miracle, no? Kasi nga we're in one room, no? So every night we sleep together, no, as one family. So and by the grace of God, wala naman, hindi sila nag COVID positive. So that's one thing that I told myself, sige. So I'm ready na to have all of to make myself feel better, no, and have myself treated whatever they need to for me to be treated during this time. So now yun nga, as what I mentioned, no, so I get to have all of those symptoms of COVID-19. But there's one symptom that is very, something's very, in a way, alarming during that time. Kasi nga, hindi ako makatulog. No? So I wasn't able to sleep well every night from the time that I get to have COVID. So I told my doctor so that I'm having this so much headache. The thing is that I'm the kind of person who very seldom gets to have headaches, no? So migraine is one thing that it never happens to me. It's rarely happens or I rarely get migraine. So for me, parang it's unusual that I'll get to have so much pain, so much headache during this time. So my doctor told me, sige, let's go to let's have you on CT scan. So they had me on CT scan. So I get again there's continuous treatment. So all of when I get to have this COVID disease, no, I almost felt that since wala pa nga masyadong treatment, I almost felt na sobrang bigat, sobrang nahirapan ako for the reason na again I used to have pneumonia and I used to have tuberculosis and para siyang ano I mean sobrang nahirapan ako that I almost got traumatized of being sick or yeah having fever every night kasi nga um, iba kasi yung chills na naramdaman ko during those times, no. Now, on my third week, so first 2 weeks I was on treatment. So, by the way, I was in hospital for a month. So on the third week, I felt better. But my wife was trying to tell me na she's trying to tell me something na parang she can't say what it is, no, or what it was. So me physically I felt that I'm okay na. There's no more there's less symptoms, no more cough or headache. Well, headache hindi naman masyado, no. Until um until before I get to be discharged from the hospital, the doctor finally told me the result of the CT scan. Okay. So before that, all of my friends been calling me and ask me how I am or how I was, how I felt. So parang I find it weird. Why are these people checking on me on day-to-day basis? So yun nga, before I get to discharge on the fourth week, no, the doctor finally told me what she saw in the CT scan. So they saw that I have meningioma. So what's a meningioma? So it's a type of brain tumor. So the brain tumor that I got is alarming in a way that the tumor was big enough that is subject for removal already. So meaning kailangan na nilang operahan yung ulo ko, yung utak ko, tanggalin yung tumor. Why? Because the size of the tumor during this time was really big, that it was as what described to me, it was as big as a ping pong ball. Ganoon na daw yung laki, no? So when if kumbaga if I will not agree to have it removed, there's a chance that I'll just one day I'll just kumbaga I'll just go on seizure, and it can be life threatening for me. So kumbaga it's a talk between life or death for me, no. So yeah, I get to have brain tumor. Then I told myself, kasi the 4 weeks that I was in the hospital, I've been questioning myself, been questioning God, asking me na why I'm getting all of these illnesses, no? So meningioma for me parang it's hindi pa nagsisink in eh. For me it's nothing, no? So yeah. So tumor, what's that? No? For me it's just nothing. So I was really trying to tell myself that I'm okay. But deep inside I was not, no? And then when I got discharged from the hospital. So we get to consult with different neuro doctors. So I'm still having that questions in mind na is it really brain tumor? Parang it's impossible that I'll get to have brain tumor. Kasi I'm not getting any migraines eh. Tapos biglang brain tumor pala, meningioma na pala. And then when I decided, told my wife, sige, let's have MRI. So MRI is like a better version of CT scan, just for us to make sure that if it really was meningioma, or if it's not, baka nagkakamali lang yung hospital. And then the MRI result came out, and it said it's really meningioma. As in, the size of the tumor was really big already, and that when the doctor told me that he saw the findings of the MRI scan, he said you're really subject for surgery, for brain surgery. So I was on my 30s, and for me parang ang aga naman for me to have this kind of serious illness, no? Parang
Mhm.
I told myself na why me? Why should I get this kind of illness? No. And then I get to have a serious conversation with my wife, been telling her should I get the brain surgery already? Uh are we ready financially? Because I mean um I want to make sure. I was in the hospital for 4 weeks, and at the same time, I don't want to spend so much in myself. None whatever that expenses that we'll have for that brain surgery for the family na lang. Para ganun yung thinking ko eh. Now, of course, as a father, no, you don't you want to make sure that your family will be better. No, the financially they'll be okay. No, so but again, the doctor said your condition is fatal, no. So if you'll not have it removed, one day you'll just bring it to the emergency, to the ER, and yeah, it can be life or death for you. So it's up to you, it's up for to you to decide, no. So that's the time that I get to ask again, why should I get this kind of illness, no? Why do you have to give this to me, Lord? Why me? No, what's the reason why you're giving this to me? So so of course, other than all of those worries, again, the financial side, I also worried about it. So I asked my financial advisor. So if I get to check my insurance coverage, if my condition is coverable. So when I asked the financial advisor, the response to me was not that warm. I mean, it's to the point that parang ayaw niya ako i-entertain masyado. Parang, okay, when we're having all the negotiation, if I'll get the insurance, You were so accommodating, and yet now I'm asking if my condition will be covered. You said it will take you this number of days before we get to process everything. I-check pa yun ng doctor all of the scans, CT scans, the results, whatever. So I'm having second thoughts. Should I have that surgery? Kasi parang it's not everything's not aligning, no? So and then um what I did was I the financial advisor told me that there's at least 15 working days for us to check if your case is coverable, meaning if we'll spend for your brain surgery. 15 days, working days, so excluded all of the weekends, it will take me at least more than a month before I get to have surgery. And yet, my neuro is already telling me that, Floy, you need to have that brain surgery already, or else, again, it will be fatal for you. So what I did, I talked to all of the people that I can talk to into with that insurance company. And then suddenly, my former boss told me, Floy, what can I do for you? Maybe I can help. I can help you. So I told him, boss, I need your help. So I'll have brain surgery. Kailangan na po as soon as possible because my doctor told me na baka nga it can be uh, fatal for me. So I was praying that my former boss will help me. And then one day, they just told me, "Oh, I have this person. Contact this person from this insurance company. Email your MRI scan, all of the results, and then after one day, suddenly sumagot yung tao from the insurance company, and the person said, "Sir, you're already approved. So we'll have your surgery covered." So again, the worry went out. So I was thinking of not having the surgery anymore, even though it will be fatal for me. But by the guidance of God, he let out all of those worries and just told me na you're already approved. I mean, that's the sign that I got, no? So on the day of the brain surgery, so I was already I'm preparing myself for the brain surgery. So I was very nervous, no? I mean, come on, guys, they'll put a knife in my head, in my brain, and remove the tumor. So I was too nervous that I was really having all of that worries in mind. Na, what if I'll have that surgery and I will not wake up again? And why am I having all of these thoughts of why do I have to undergo this? Why me? I'm still young. I'm just in my 30s. Why will I need to have a brain surgery at a young age? My children is just 3 years. My eldest is just 3 years old. Still have a baby during the time, a 1 year old baby. So why me? Why me, Lord? So yun yung pumapasok sa utak ko. Um, so on the day of the surgery, so my wife even joked at me, and she told me, so dadalhin na ako sa surgery room. She told me, pagising mo, makakalimutan na, baka mamaya makalimutan mo na ako. So she just jokingly told me. I also laughed. But deep inside, I was really afraid. I really tried to show her that I'm that strong. Pero deep inside, I'm on the weakest point of my life. Because, come on, it's brain surgery. I just had COVID few days ago. I was in the hospital for a month, and then after 1 week, I'll have a brain surgery. So it's like almost 2 months of peril for me. It's almost 2 months of me telling myself that you're weak, no. So and then I had the surgery. So as what you can see from the screen, so um, the surgery was something that is a different kind of pain, of course. The physical pain was too hard for me for the reason that again, it's we're talking about brain. We're talking about my head, no. When the anesthesia worn out after 24 hours, that's when I felt so much pain. How will I describe the pain that I felt? Um, on the first 3 days of my post operation, I was only glaring outside, staring outside the window of the hospital, and I had these thoughts of, um, should I just jump out of the window, because I felt so much pain that I wanted to end right away. So ganun kasakit yung pain that I felt. So um and we even asked the doctor, no. So we, kasi nga sobra, I was like, I was really crying so much tears that I, for years, I never wanted to show my wife that I know how to cry. But on the very time of of the operation, or after the operation, finally I broke down and I was just really in tears. And then we even asked a doctor, Doc, um, up to how many days will I feel this kind of pain? Kasi sobrang hirap na po ako. And the doctor even told me, Floy, I know it's hard, but the pain that you'll feel, it will take you at least 1 to 2 weeks. When I heard about it, I cried. Kasi nga, come on, I was on that very, on the same day, I was already thinking outside of I was already thinking and telling myself that I should just jump out of the hospital so that I will end all of the pain that I'm feeling at that moment. And then the doctor will even tell me that the kind of pain you will feel that in the next 1 to 2 weeks. I was in the hospital for more than almost 2 months, and I have to feel another 1 to 2 weeks of pain. So, um, yeah. So, but all of those things that happened to me, somehow I realized that there's so much miracles that I encountered. No, so I mean, um, the first miracle that I encountered was, uh, we found out about my brain tumor because I had COVID. Who would have think that COVID-19 will be some sort of divine intervention? No? The second miracle that I found was, um, the doctors that we asked. We had to go to different doctors to check on how much is the rate, and most of them are telling us that you have to pay 7 digits worth, 1 million pesos more for that brain surgery. No, and then we found this doctor who told us, "I'll give you the discount. You don't need to worry that much, and then we'll make sure that your insurance coverage will be within the range of your insurance. You get to pay me within that insurance coverage," and it happened. No, and then another miracle was when my financial advisor told me that you will have to wait at least for 10 to 15 working days. So in if I'm going to translate that, that's another 30 days, kumbaga, no? And yet my neuro doctor already told me during the time that, hey Flo, you already need to have that brain surgery or else you'll die. No? So those are the miracles that I realized. And one thing that also made me think that, um, the pain is will last, or will not last that long, was when on my third day I started to feel better. As in, first 3 days I was really crying every day, hindi ako makatulog, sobra yung baga yung ulo ko. On the third day, suddenly I'm feeling better, as in not much pain at all. And yet, the doctor told me nga na you will have to feel that pain in the next 1 to 2 weeks. On the third day, nawala na siya. So, that's another miracle that I felt that I told myself, hey, sometimes you just have to feel the pain and you don't need to focus that much on that pain because those pain that you felt, that I felt, it will just be temporary. If you have a bigger faith than your pain, everything will be better. Everything will be just fine. So yeah, so again, today is already my almost 3 years after the surgery, and there are a lot of things that I realized. No, that um, life may be painful physically, psychologically, maybe stress, no, or even financially. But we just have to remember that all of the pain that we're getting right now, these are just temporary pain. No, we also have to learn to take a rest when we feel like we're stressed from work. Because when I made a research about meningioma, one of although it's not proven yet, but one of the main reasons why people get to have meningioma is because of overwork. So I had a company back then, and those that I've worked with have known how much hard worker I am. I've spent so much time in the office that sometimes I get to forget about myself. No? So yeah, that moment in my life let me realize that I have to take a rest. No, so same as yours. No, learn to take a rest when you feel stressed from work. Don't push yourself too much from pressure, from stress. No, so take a break. Take a break when you're burnout. And yes, when other people can easily judge you, this is one thing that I realized. No, when other people easily judge you, your family will be the first people to say that you're better than what others think of you. No, so um, your loved ones will always be your point of strength. No, so learn not to turn your backs on them. Learn not to turn back on them. Okay. So yeah, as we spend the Holy Week, no. So let's also have this week for us to reflect and of course repent. No, repent from all of the sins that we have done. I mean, I'm not in the right place for you to say this. I'm not a priest, but I'm saying this from my own perspective that it can help you to feel better if you will learn to take this time to reflect and repent. No? And yes, at the end of the day, you have a bigger God. From all of your pains, all of your worries, all of your troubles, we have a bigger God. Always ready to guide us, tell us that everything will be just fine. So yeah, so that's my presentation for today. So yeah,
Hindi ko naman alam, sir, na magpapaiyak ka for today's episode.
ganun ba
But
yun?
yeah, grabe. I'm actually really speechless right now. And I think, Sir Floyd, it takes a lot of strength for you to overcome yung ganong situation. And yeah, I think it's really hard. Like it's hard enough for you to get positive sa isang virus na hindi pa nasasolusyonan. And
Yeah,
then meron pang sumunod. So,
yeah.
you know,
And you know
thinking
what?
about it, it's really hard. Mhm.
Yeah, just to add up, and you know what? Um, I realized that there one of the reasons why I got brain tumor is because again I worked so hard because I was afraid to turn down people. I was afraid to tell people that I I am a failure because I used again, di ba, we used to work together well with the
Yes.
previous company, and the company was not doing well for so many years. But I all of the co-founders that again used to work with me, they all left, and I was the only
Yeah.
one in the company. I tried everything for me to make it work, and I was afraid to say that I'm about to surrender. I'm about to say that it's over for that company. So
Mm-hmm.
I realized that sometimes just have to learn to surrender, no? It doesn't mean that I'm a failure. So natakot ako na isarado yung company na yun. But when from the time that I close it down, I felt better, no? So right now the company is already closed, and for me, it was one of the most bravest things that I did,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because I found peace. I found peace. So, and I just asked myself if, kasi nga parang I dedicated my life to that company.
Right.
Pero it did not work. At the end of the day, I just asked myself, what am I doing this? I'm doing this for my family. So I just have to tell myself that I can give my family a better life, even if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
an owner of a company anymore. So I transferred in Tache, and I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better
Mm-hmm.
right now. Not much things to worry anymore. And yeah, sometimes you just have to learn to surrender, and it doesn't mean that you're a
Mm-hmm.
failure. You just have to accept it. As long as you
Right,
learn
right.
something from all of those experience, you'll be a better version of yourself.
Yeah. So I can imagine how difficult it is for you, like physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. But spiritually speaking, how are you able to overcome that? Like cope with it? Because I know from your story, it's so depressing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if I was on your shoes, parang nasa point na ako ng giving up. So, what made you like strong? I mean, aside from, you have your family with you, ano pa yung mga nakatulong sa'yo? Kasi I know, I mean, we have like different problems, but right now with our audience, I think, um, I think pare-paras tayo ng bigat ng problema. It's just that magkakaiba lang tayo. But just to
Mm-hmm.
share with our audience, how were you able to cope up with it? Like, what did you do?
For me, it's just recognizing that it's okay to fail. It's okay for you to fail. No? And then at the same time, um, never forget to also share all of your worries, all of your problems to God. So I mean, you'll find more peace when you get to reflect. You get to share your worries.
Mm-hmm.
For example,
Mm-hmm.
today you feel so much stress at work, and then, di ba, when you feel so much stress at work, you will find your friends, and the reason why you want to see your friends is because you want to vent out. So sometimes
Yes, yes.
you don't need naman laging friends lang, eh, no? So of course they also have
Mm-hmm.
other things, something to do. So sometimes you just have to learn to also share all of your worries to God. He's always ready to listen to us. I mean, even if you're not
Mm-hmm.
willing to say all of your worries, you already know what caused stress to you today. So you just have
Mm-hmm.
to learn to recognize that He's there. You just have to be more
Right.
open, because that will help you to uplift your spiritual self, no? So
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing, no, recognizing that, yeah, it's okay for you to fail.
Yeah. And I think one thing I learned about this, by the way, we have, nakita ko lang, we have 293 viewers in KUMU. Hello,
Hello.
everyone. So, I think one thing that I learned to your story, Sir Floyd, would be taking care of yourself while working is not just important for your physical health, but also for your emotional and spiritual being.
Yeah.
When you take time to kasi I've ano eh to all our viewers, I've witnessed Sir Floyd getting so stressed.
Mhm.
Very stressed. And it's hard. So I know that hindi lang siya yung nakakaramdam nun, and I think this is a great reminder for all of us to take time to take care of yourself. You send a message to yourself that you are worthy of love, attention, and you create a space for healing and growth. And one way to take care of yourself emotionally and spiritually is to take breaks throughout the day to recharge and rejuvenate your spirit. And I think this Holy Week, it's the best time for you to do it. So during these breaks, you can take a moment to practice gratitude, connect with God spiritually, or engage in any activity that brings you joy and peace.
Yeah.
So yon.
And of course, well, again, just to remind everybody, of course, reflecting and yeah, repenting. No, it should not
Yes.
just happen
Mm-hmm.
during the whole week. I mean, um, make it part of your daily activity for you recognizing your mistakes, you
Right.
recognizing it's okay for you to have that kind of failure, to feel bad at yourself sometimes, no. Um, pero of course, once you get to say that, you're not just saying that to yourself, but you want to share that story of yours to God, to Jesus, no. So because again you will feel better
I agree.
after
Mm-hmm.
you do that once you get to recognize that he's there, he's always there ready to listen.
I agree. Then I totally agree, Sir Floy, when you said na hindi mo kailangan maghintay ng 11th season to repent. Because you will never know when's the last time or last day of your life. It may sound really dark, but it's inevitable eh. You won't it will happen, but you don't know when. So it's really important for you to reflect, to repent, and at the same time be more aware with whatever you're doing, and of course, taking care of yourself is a very, very important thing that you should do.
Yeah,
So yeah, hmm thank you so much, sir, for sharing that story.
of
Um,
course.
I almost cried. I even
Ganun.
messaged, I even messaged the team. What nagpapayak to si Sir Floyd? But yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
it's a very,
ano,
very great reminder.
I rarely share this presentation. I mean, I have
Mm-hmm.
this presentation. Parang I shared this three times already. Only pa lang pala. I've been doing a
Mm-hmm.
lot of talks, but I rarely share these stories. Well, of course, I when I used to be active in Facebook, I always share my story.
Yeah.
Pero
Mm-hmm.
I pick the right crowd when I get to share this story of mine,
Mm-hmm.
because of course
Mm-hmm.
I mean at times no we will always feel that parang I'm not worthy naman of sharing my story to other people, but
Mm-hmm.
I think this episode is the right episode for me to share the
Mm-hmm.
story that have happened
Right.
to me, because it's it's um it's one thing that need to function as a reminder for all of us that we just have
Yes.
to understand that
Mm-hmm.
we need to recognize him. We need to recognize that he's always there beside us, and our stories are proof that he's there. He's always there, always ready to listen, always
Mm-hmm.
know what's happening to our life. So we just have to recognize
Right.
him. He's there.
Mm-hmm. Butterfly, before we end this, kasi it's almost an hour, um, based dun sa lahat ng na experience mo sa buhay, what do you think is your purpose now? Like, because this is your second chance to lead, right? This is your
Mm-mm.
second life. So, what do you think is your meaning or purpose in life right now?
Well, for me, it's ako talaga. Well, of course, I'm a father, so as a family person, my main reason why I'm working is I'm doing this for my family. So
Mm-hmm.
it's okay for me to go back from scratch. I mean, if
Right.
I have to be back in the employment side, it's fine. No? As long as I get to spend more time with my loved ones, with my family, it my life will be a lot simpler. But yeah, kasi I mean, Jamie, when I used to have my own company, I used to know a lot of friends or people that I know or they know me by the thousands, no. And when I gave up on that life of mine, I lost a lot of them. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
okay with it because I know that I have my family, which is a
Mm-hmm.
better reason why I need to live. I need to make sure that the life that I have is dedicated for them. No, so that's one thing. That's the main reason. And of course, to recognize him. So yun din yun sobrang na-realize ko, no. By the time that I had brain tumor, I had COVID. Before that, I was afraid of telling people about the word of God. But when it happened, suddenly I just told myself na when it's the right moment for me to share about his story, to share about
Mm-hmm.
God's story to people, I should be proud of telling his story to him because I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing this for him. So, yun.
Ayun. So, thank you so much, Sir Flory. Talaga ikaw ang naging speaker natin today.
Oo nga
And
eh.
thank you so much for sharing your story. We really, really appreciate it. And I think this is a reminder as well for all of us na, again, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, not just physically. But yeah, this Holy Week, it's the best time for you to do that.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that's the
Yeah.
end of
So,
our
we're ending, so
episode.
we're over time already.
Yes.
So, yes, to all of our communicants, once again, we're happy that we were able to conduct our episode 22. No? So, next week,
Mhm.
I don't think we have episode 23 next week because it's a holiday. No? So,
Yes.
yes.
Mhm.
But of course, we're praying that this week will be a meaningful week for all of you. So,
Yes.
we have a meaningful Holy Week, no, to all of our communities, all of those watching us right now. We have 330 plus watching us right now. Have a meaningful Holy Week to all of you. So we'll see you next
Yes.
week. So thank you,
Bye
communicants.
everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye.